The all-out war page is located in the cross-server icon. The first icon shown is Rankings, which shows the alliance total score and their respective ranking. By pressing View Details, you can see the global rankings of alliance score. The second icon is the rules of the battlefield. There are two types of battlefields: Vanguard, which is for the top 16 alliances, and normal battlefield. The difference between the two battlefields are the rewards, as Vanguard gives an opportunity to earn fragments or a coupon of the Song of Ice and Fire Castle skin. Available commanders shows the commanders available for the account to use. I also have made a document when you can see all different types of skills of different commanders at different qualities. When entering the battlefield, the first thing that pops up is the newsletter. This newsletter shows some details of what happened the previous days, such as who healed the most troops, who rebuilt the most vehicles, who rebuilt the most villages, who gathered the most resources, and who killed the most troops. It also shows aspects such as how many villages has been flipped, quickest time to kill domain, and which battle had been the bloodiest. The first icon in the top left are weekly quests for players to individually complete. First page shows eliminations in which players can receive lightning essences, reforge ores, water of revival, return to City of Runestone, and heals. The second page is for heals, where players can get badge chests, ox meat, and similar rewards. The City of Runestone can be used to recall marches, whereas the water of revival can heal dead commanders, but more on that later. Here are the amount of points for killing each troop type and healing each troop type. The second icon in the top left is a quest that refresh daily and provide the individual player with royal coins. You can earn royal coins from 4 different types of quests: building vehicles, building construction, gathering resources, and rebuilding villages. Keep in mind that you can only earn a limit of 2,000 royal coins per day, unless you purchase the season pass for 100 black diamonds that increases it to 2,600 royal coins per day. And that every time a reward is claimed, it scales up the requirement to claim the same rewards. In the contribution shop, you can see what items can be purchased using royal coins. There are heals, meat for the dragon, ancient dust, which is a fan favorite, badge chests, which only provide attack badges and defense badges. The quality provided is randomized. 2 photos, Unsullied Legion and Sons of Harpy, trickery weapon, and lightning essence. Next up is world progression. In war progression, your faction would need to complete certain quests under a specific time limit to claim the rewards. Rewards for completing the quests do vary from time to time. Faction target is also a quest that your faction would need to complete to advance on. There is no time limit for this. The rewards are friendship chests and ox meat. Shop is only for lieutenants, so that would be covered in a different video. Season Pass is a pass for the entire AOW season that costs 100 black diamonds. It gives an additional 600 contribution coins to the limit, as well as 25% healing speed and 50% increase in attack and defense. Cumulative rewards are available to players who may have purchased the pass late. It gives the daily rewards that the player would have missed when buying this pass late. The star icon on the map is for players to see banner locations and for lieutenants to set banner. Kingdom map allows player to see the entire map as well as occupation zones belonging to each faction. Lock mouse allows players to move the map using arrows or bringing their mouse near the ends of their screen. Cancelling the lock removes this feature, and players could only move around the map via dragging. Simplified mode is, as mentioned in the name, simplifies the display in the marches. E.g., when simplified mode is disabled, you can see the amount of troops that the march has, whereas when simplified mode is enabled, you cannot see, as the default shows 2 to 4 horses. Battle Intel shows 3 pages. The first page is Faction Intel, which shows any declarations, offenses or defenses that links directly to the faction, as well as how many participants showed and eliminations occurred. Battle Intel is similar but shows for the entire battlefield, even if the battle was not linked directly to the faction itself. Battlefield Intel shows the different factions, how many villages they occupy, how many cities they occupy, and which alliances are in each faction. The next page is Workshop. This is where players can earn points by building vehicles. At the moment, there is none in production. Individual garage shows vehicles that the player has access to and can be used in personal marches. Faction garage are vehicles that the faction has in stock. Players can request for vehicles by pressing on beginning applications, and lieutenants can approve the applications. How lieutenants can do this will be mentioned in a different video. The ranking page shows 10 different types of rankings. First is Kingship. The alliance with the highest amount of kingship points wins the entire event. Second is faction elimination, which shows which faction has the highest amount of elimination in total. Third is individual eliminations, which shows which player across the battlefield has the highest amount of eliminations. Faction individual shows which player in the faction has the highest amount of eliminations. Individual logistics shows which player has the highest amount of logistics points. Logistic points are resilience points times 8,000,000, then added on with the healing points. Faction ally healing shows which players healed the most in the faction. Faction ally resilience shows which player has been topping up the resilience inside the faction. Faction gathering shows which players has been gathering the most resources in the faction. Faction vehicle and construction shows which players has been helping with building. And lastly, faction village rebuild shows which player has been rebuilding the most villages. City info shows information about the city, whether it would be amount of supplies in their warehouse or the bonuses they provide. Command post shows the duke of each alliance in the faction and 2 lieutenants from each alliance, which are appointed by the duke. Lastly, hospital is where you can use heals to use on troops or heal dead commanders. When a march dies, all commanders in the march go to commander hospital and remains unusable for 30 minutes. You can use water of revival to instantly heal the commander and use it again.